Bro, this guy, he's helping both sides. Why is he helping both sides? All right, boys. Episode 4. Episode 4. Finally getting
the last
back
episode
into the series.
On
Trust
the early
me.
history of the Ottoman Empire, we covered how the Ottomans, under the leadership of Sultan Mehmed I,
Yeah, I
won
need
a
this
string
recap.
of victories in the Balkans, and in doing so, secured a foothold in Europe, where the Ottomans would remain for the next 600 years. In this episode, we will
600
explore
years,
deeper
bro.
into the reign of Mehmed I, with a focus on his other military campaigns in the Balkans and the beginnings of Ottoman expansion into the region of Anatolia. Hey, history fans, as you know, the YouTube algorithm.
Alright, look. I am poor.
Last week, we released the first episodes in our series on the Peloponnesian Wars, behind-the-scenes videos, and much more. In the aftermath of the Battle of Maritsa, a sizable portion of the Balkans had fallen either under the direct control or vassalage of the Ottomans, as the armies of Mehmed I reigned supreme in the region.
Oh,
After
wait.
the political
Eastern Roman Empire was a vassal of the Ottomans. Oh, dude, that's so cursed to think about.
treaties of 1372
That
and
is so
1373,
cursed to think about.
with his new Balkan vassals, Murad had successfully built a network of allies in the southeastern European peninsula, from which he could request levies for his ever-growing military. To
I
shore
wouldn't really
up
call
the
them
loyalty of
allies.
his newly acquired
I wouldn't really call them allies. Allies is a strong word, kings and generals. Ooh, yeah, allies is a very strong word.
Balkan vassals, Murad, during the spring of 1373, would request the participation of Byzantine Emperor John V Palaiologos and a portion of his armies in the recent border skirmishes against the Turkic Kandahrid Beylik in Anatolia. Seeing no way to escape his helpless situation, John V appointed his eldest son, Prince Andronikos Palaiologos, to administer the Byzantine capital while he joined the main Ottoman host under Murad in Anatolia.
Oh, dude, that's
However,
so
upon
cursed.
the departure of his emperor father, the young Byzantine prince, who was discontent with being a vassal of Murad, would conduct a successful palace coup against his family and declare himself emperor.
Bro, no. Oh my gosh, no. Dude, look at the situation that you're in. Look at the situation that you're in. No. That's gonna end so badly.
As the Palaiologos dynasty was again in civil war, tensions within the House of Osman would also be boiling. By the time of the Byzantine palace coup, Murad I had 3 sons from his various marriages, the eldest to youngest being Shehzada Bayezid, Shehzada Yakub, and Shehzada Sevgi. Perhaps seeing that he had no real chance of succeeding to the Ottoman throne, the youngest of these sons, Shehzada Sevgi, would mirror Andronikos IV, rebelling against his father and seizing the Ottoman capital city of Bursa, where he declared himself Sultan.
Oh, this is your chance, John V.
Hearing the news of their rebellious sons, Murad I and John V would halt their Anatolian campaign and proceed to march their armies against their respective disobedient children. The simultaneous Ottoman-Byzantine civil wars would see Murad first marching on and capturing the city of Bursa in a short siege. However, Sevgi would successfully escape the siege and make his way down to the village of Kite to meet up with the bulk of his newly recruited army. This host consisted primarily of Anatolian Turkomans, displeased with Murad's policy of recruiting new Muslim converts from the Balkans into the Ottoman army. In an engagement near Kite, the
Dude, I still can't believe we have freaking Eastern Roman troops fighting with Ottoman troops, dude. How can people just stop fighting each other and be like, okay, yeah, we're allies now, after, like, you know, wiping out a whole freaking army? Because what we saw, right, you know, what we saw the last time I watched the last episode of this, like, the Ottomans were just completely steamrolling them. Not all of a sudden they're helping each other. Like, what?
Numerically superior forces of Murad would defeat the forces of Sevgi, thus capturing the Ottoman prince in the process. Although Murad kindly advised his rebellious son to confess and repent for his guilt for his failed revolt, Sevgi responded to him with cruel and harsh words. which resulted in his blinding and later execution on the orders of his father.
Yo. Killing your own son? Bro, killing your own, bro, I can't even imagine that. I'm kind of speechless, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of speechless, bro. Like, I mean, words are just words, bro. Words are, I don't know, man. You see, 14th century, times were different. I know people typically, even family members could be a threat to you. But still, like, executing him because he just told you a bunch of words, man, I don't know, man. That's a bit far-fetched. I don't know. Maybe.
Back in Europe, with the help of Ottoman troops, John V forced his usurper son's hand into surrendering the imperial throne after only a 1-month reign. Although Murad implored him to blind his rebellious son, John, in an act of mercy, would instead settle for the imprisonment and partial blinding of Andronikos, thus officially bringing an end to the simultaneous Ottoman-Byzantine civil wars of 1373.
Yeah, you see, that's
however, conflicts in the Palaiologos
better.
household
That's how you properly deal with that. I mean, like, killing your son, like, what the heck, like, oh my god, blinding? Just humble the guy. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm too nice. Maybe I'm too nice. Am I being too nice? I don't know.
Into the foreseeable future. Between 1366 and 1369, John V went on a series of European tours to gather military and fiscal support against the recently expanding Ottomans in the Balkans. The desperate Byzantine emperor would first visit the Kingdom of Hungary and seek the support of King Louis I, to no avail. He then made his way west to Rome to meet up with Pope Urban V. Proposing to end the schism between the Western Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches as a last-ditch way to gather up Western support against the Ottomans, John V converted to Catholicism in St. Peter's Basilica and recognized the Pope as the supreme head of the church. However, on his journey back home to Constantinople, the Byzantine emperor was detained by Venetians, to whom he was in serious debt. The Venetians forced him to concede the island of Tenedos.
Oh, are you really? Oh, come on. The Venetians are the IRS? The Venetians LARPing as the IRS now? Oh, dude. This is such an IRS move.
A strategic island near the mouth of the Dardanelles.
If you don't know what the IRS is, because I know, like, some of y'all are European, the IRS is like the tax thing in America, like the people who like put taxes on everyone, and they do not mess around.
However, this action would place the Byzantine emperor in the middle of the Venetian-Genoese rivalry over the hegemony of the Mediterranean, which would strain both crucial maritime trading cities' relationship with Constantinople.
But it's not even his fault.
After years of failed promises from the West, being surrounded by the armies of Murad, and facing economic strains at home, the Orthodox populace of Constantinople had begun to feel alienated by their now Catholic monarch. During the March of 1376, 10 Venetian ships had arrived at the gate.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's so cursed. That is so cursed. Not only, right, are they an Ottoman vassal, technically an Ottoman ally, not only were they fighting together with the Ottomans, he's Catholic. Right? That's so... Dude. Oh, the fact that this is canon, too. The fact that this is actually canon in our timeline, it's wild.
Constantinople to conclude the long-awaited annexation of Tenedos in return for paying the emperor 30,000 ducats in cash, as well as returning the prestigious Byzantine crown jewels, which were given to the Doge back in 1343 by Emperor John's late mother to secure finances during a previous Byzantine civil war.
How are you gonna deal with
Hearing
that?
the news of their rivals' recent actions to acquire Tenedos, the Genoese, based in their colony in Galata near Constantinople, would engineer the escape of Andronikos from prison and whisk the former emperor over to Galata. After hearing the news of Andronikos' escape, Sultan Murad decided to play factions in Constantinople off one another. First, the Sultan lent a cavalry force to the escapee Byzantine emperor to overthrow his father. During a short summer siege, Andronikos IV's forces would storm into Constantinople and imprison John V and his second eldest son and co-emperor.
What is going on right now? What is going on?
In the dungeons of the Tower of Animus. As a reward for their assistance in reclaiming his throne, Andronikos would award the Genoese the disputed island of Tenedos, and the Ottomans the peninsula of Gallipoli, which Murad had lost during the Savoyard Crusade back in 1367.
Oh, that's even worse. This is even a worse spot for the Romans right now.
The issue of Tenedos and facing supply issues in the capital, the reigns of Andronikos IV and his son and newly crowned co-emperor John VII were a time of crisis for the Byzantine Empire. By the end of 1376, an alliance of Venetian warships and pro-John V Byzantine forces would successfully capture the island of Tenedos in a straightforward military operation before making an ambitious naval attack on Constantinople the following summer. Although unsuccessful, the attack on the capital worsened Andronikos' hold on power within the city, as Constantinople faced a major food shortage. Events in the capital would only get worse for the Byzantine.
Oh, dude, I pity the Eastern Roman Empire situation / Byzantine Empire situation. This is such a horrible spot to be in. Oh my god, I know I said in my previous reactions that, the Roman Empire did a lot of things and this is their karma. But like, this... I just have to pity them so much, man.
As in the summer of 1379, John V and his son Manuel II had successfully escaped their captivity in the capital and made their way to the court of Murad as a last resort to regain their prominence. The Sultan of the Ottomans would once again take on the role of kingmaker, deciding to help John V.
Bro, this guy, he's helping both sides. Why is he helping both sides? He helped him overthrow John and Manuel, and now he's helping John and Manuel overthrow him? What is happening right now?
Larger yearly tribute, in addition to the last remaining Byzantine possession in Anatolia, the town of Philadelphia.
Wait, they still had a possession in Anatolia?
Accepting the desperate John's most generous offer, Murad would supply the exiled emperor with an army. By the end of the summer, the forces of John V and Manuel II would storm into Constantinople after a short standoff with the city's garrison. However, before the fall of the city, Andronikos IV and his household escaped to Genoese Galata.
Oh, again?
The deposed emperor would continue to...
Everyone is just escaping and escaping and escaping and escaping and escaping. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Press his claim for the throne until a political agreement was settled between the two Byzantine factions in 1381, granting Andronikos IV and his son John VII jurisdiction over the town of Salembria near the imperial capital. In the following years, Venice and Genoa would also agree to depopulate the island of Tenedos and destroy its fortifications, thus effectively creating a neutral zone. In the grand scheme of things, this latest round of Byzantine civil wars would benefit the young Ottoman state. It had squeezed major concessions from Constantinople in the form of the Gallipoli Peninsula, which would give Murad I the opportunity to once again move his armies freely between Asia and Europe. As the wars in Europe settled for the time being, Murad would turn his gaze to Anatolia and its complex domestic scene. Ever since the fall of the Sultanate of Rum at the beginning of the century, the region of Anatolia had been ruled by a collection of Turkic beyliks, ranging from the Aegean coast to the west, all the way to the Taurus.
Okay, so now he's finally getting into this, because in the last reactions of this series that I was doing, I was always wondering, what are these states? Like, I want to know more about these states. Finally, I'm glad that he's getting into it, man. Finally.
To the east. Although border skirmishes between states were quite common, A new informal political consensus was formed in Anatolia by these various Turkic beyliks during the century, which assured a steady peace between their ruling families. Initially, the Ottomans were merely one of these petty beyliks among many, but by the reign of Murad I, this was no longer the case. As they now owned large swaths of territories in Europe, the sons of Osman had become the most prestigious Turkic noble family in the region. By the start of the 1370s, the Karamanid Beylik, who saw themselves as the inheritors of the Sultanate of Rum from their former Seljuk capital of Konya, had begun a series of military operations against their weaker neighbors, the Yamayanid, Hamidid, and Aretnid Beyliks. Seeing an opportunity to make gains in Anatolia without disrupting the informal political consensus of the region, Murad opted to marry his eldest son, Shahzada Bayezid, to the daughter of the Bey of the Yamayanid Beylik as part of a pact of friendship. As a dowry from his daughter to the Ottomans, the Yamayanid ruler, Suleiman Bey, would also offer Murad the towns of Kütahya, Tavşanlı, Emet, and Simav.
Just 3
In addition
towns?
to creating a steady relationship with the region's most powerful ruler of the Turkic states.
Just 3 towns? Isn't this like tax money? Because I know back then, you know, this time period, you know, taxes were like the utmost important thing. You know, because like, how are you able to fund your army, right? Like, they're just giving them free. I can't. Like, I can't really understand this right now. Like, really, like, I can't. I don't know. If someone could explain this to me, like, why would they just give it like just 4 towns? Like, this is literally tax money right here, is it not? Like, were these towns just not like capable? Like, what?
Suleiman Bey also gained a physical buffer in the form of the Ottomans against his openly hostile neighbor to the east. During the large wedding reception in Bursa, Murad and his household would be greeted by the major Turkic noble families of Anatolia, many of which sought protection from the Ottoman ruler against the Karamanids. For example, the Bey of the Hamidids, Hüseyin Bey, would also offer Murad the towns of Akşehir, Yalvaç, Beyşehir, Seydişehir, and Isparta in exchange for 80,000 gold ducats and protection from the Karamanids, which the Ottoman leader eagerly accepted.
Just expanding and expanding and expanding, and they're just giving up all these cities. Like what?
Overnight,
I would never give up a city like this, bro. Like, this is tax money. I don't know, man. Also, why do they have the Star of David? These are Turkey people, right? This is the Star of David, right? This is the flag that Israel uses. They're not a part of the Jewish religion, so why are they using the Star of David?
The Ottomans would become the guarantors of peace in Western Anatolia, as Murad's domains now split off the region from the Karamanids. Still wishing to keep the peace in Anatolia, Murad I would offer his daughter's hand to the leader of the Karamanids, Alaeddin Ali Bey. Securing peace in Anatolia for the time being, Murad would once again turn his attention to Europe as he planned to expand his rule further into the Balkans.
Man, you really love Europe.
Murad believed that his network of vassals in the region was plotting against him and that they were too weak to provide for his armies. Whether or not Bulgarian Tsar Ivan Shishman was still loyal to Murad as his vassal did not matter, for during 1381, Ottoman raids into Bulgaria were resumed by local Ottoman border lords.
Okay.
This raiding snowballed into a full-scale
I was reading the note that just came up there. That's
between Edirne and Tarnovo.
That's actually funny.
After that, Murad I personally led an Ottoman army into Shishman's territories, defeating his forces near the town of Zlatitsa, before ordering his much trusted tutor Lala Shahin Pasha to besiege the major Bulgarian city of Sofia. Moreover,
isn't that
after
the
the Byzantine Emperor's son
Bulgaria
and
today?
co-monarch Manuel II seized the city of Thessaloniki to gather up support in the region and lead a resistance against the Ottomans, the city was put under siege in 1383 by the forces of Grand Vizier Jandali Halil Pasha the Elder. After a lengthy siege, Sofia's garrison surrendered to Ottoman forces in 1385, and another wave of Turkic migrants from Anatolia made their way into the region. It would be after this military campaign that the first Ottoman timars, military fiefdoms, were distributed in the Balkans, thus paving the way for creating a Balkan military class within the Ottoman government. Ottoman successes on the battlefield would continue in 1387, when the city of Thessaloniki fell to the forces of the Ottoman Grand Vizier, thus depriving John V of his second largest city. In addition to major cities in the Balkans falling to Ottoman rule, Murad's armies pushed into modern-day Serbia and Albania, capturing Niš in 1386. An Albanian army was defeated at the Battle of Savra in 1385, and the Ottomans temporarily occupied the towns of Kruja, Berat, and Ulcini, and permanently the town of Kastoria.
Gosh.
However, during this period, the Sultan faced his first
What else am I supposed to say? Is like no one isn't stopping the Ottomans. If someone stops the Ottomans, I'll give a reaction. But like the Ottomans are just completely just steamrolling everyone. Like what? I don't even know what to say. It's just like well, the Ottomans are just winning again and again and again.
first military roadblock, as the newly formed Principality of Moravian Serbia became the center for resistance in the Balkans against his rule. Born from the ashes of the former Serbian Empire, Moravian Serbia, led by its prince Lazar Hrebeljanović, had become the strongest of the petty Serbian successor states in the region. With acquiring the domains of his fellow Serbian lords, Vuk Branković and Nikola Altamanović, Lazar looked poised to construct a Balkan coalition to push the Ottomans back to Anatolia. He had already defeated a major Ottoman raiding party during the Battle of Dubrovnica during the winter of 1381. However, after the sudden fall of Niš, the Serbian prince, perhaps in an attempt to buy time for the formation of his coalition, concluded a temporary deal with Murad, which would see him supply the Sultan's armies with 2,000 of his troops and begin paying tribute to Edirne.
Bro, if you're trying to start a coalition, why would you supply them with valuable troops? You could be using that troops to fight against him, so why are you using said troops to... What?
After multiple years of successful European campaigns, Murad's recently established peace in Anatolia slowly fell apart. The relatively sudden rise of Ottoman hegemony had seen the political scene in the region steadily become unstable, as minor Turkic beys sought to play off the Ottomans against the number 2 power in the area, the Karamanids. Since the dynastic marriages of 1381, the political borders of Anatolia had not changed, except for the eastern quadrant of the Candarid Beylik, whose beys declared for Murad in 1384. However, the steady peace would be broken in 1386, when Alaeddin Ali Bey began his invasion of western Anatolia by capturing the Ottoman town of Beyshehir. Hearing the news of his treacherous son-in-law, Murad called forth his banners and formally declared war against the Karamanids. Accompanied by his 2 sons, Bayezid and Yakub, the Ottoman forces of Kara Timurtash...
No raiding... None of that, just war. Official declaration of war. Okay, it's getting spicy again. This is what? The second power in the Balkans. So, this shouldn't be a pushover. I hope.
Pasha, a contingent of vassal troops from Constantinople led by John V, and forces from his Serbian vassals, Murad now had a grand army numbering around 40 to 70,000 men. In command of the largest Ottoman force ever, Murad wintered with his troops in Bursa before marching on the Karamanid capital of Konya during the spring of 1387.
I don't understand. If you're trying to start a coalition, why are you helping him? They're helping him, and they're personally going with him to help him. Why are they doing that?
The forces of Alaeddin Ali and Murad I would meet on the Konya plain near the Karamanid capital itself. Murad I and his retinue of Kapikulu soldiers were positioned in the middle of the Ottoman battle line, alongside the forces of Timurtash Pasha. At the same time, his sons Bayezid and Yakub led the left and right flanks, accompanied by Serbian and Byzantine vassal troops and Ottoman cavalry. The following engagement, which would later be known as the Battle of Frenk-Azizi, would begin with a general Ottoman charge on the disorganized and ill-disciplined forces of the Karamanid Bey. Within minutes, the Karamanid lines would break from the weight of the Ottoman charge, and a full-scale Karamanid rout was underway.
Well,
Easily
that
routing the
was
Karamanid army, Murad's stalled.
that was so underwhelming. That was so underwhelming. Wow. Okay,
The
that
Karamanid
was
capital city of
the
Konya,
most
where
underwhelming
his
thing.
son-in-law had locked
One of-
himself with his household in the city's fortress. The now disgraced and defeated Alauddin Ali Bey called forth his Ottoman wife, Melek Hatun, to negotiate with her father to ask for forgiveness for his actions. After much pleading from his daughter, Murad reluctantly pardoned the Karamanid Bey and returned to Bursa after collecting his war concessions from Konya. In a single military campaign, the sons of
Wait, what the heck? She actually like pleaded, so she actually like cared about the guy. She actually cared about him. What in the world? And that was an arranged marriage too. So like the fact that she actually cared about him is striking.
Osman had showcased to the rest of Anatolia that they were the new premier power of the region. Murad's victory at Frankasisi would also display Ottoman superiority in battle tactics, based on heavy infantry and tight formations, compared to the classical Turkoman tactics of disorganized Ghazi infantry and cavalry employed by the Turkic beyliks of the region.
Revolutionary.
As Sultan Murad I and his forces reigned supreme in Anatolia, a new threat in the Balkans in the form of a certain enthusiastic Serbian prince would arise in the region. In the next episode, we will go over the last years of Murad's reign and his wars of expansion in the Balkans, resulting in the infamous climax during the Battle of Kosovo. We'll talk more about early Ottoman history in future videos, so make sure to subscribe and press the bell button to see the next video in the series. Please consider liking, commenting and sharing. It helps.
I did the Battle of Kosovo by History March already, but I will react to the next episode because I think Kings and Generals will give a much more like better overview of like what happened and more details about the results of the battle and whatnot. But check out these videos that are appearing on your screen. If you like what I have to say, if you like my reactions, like the video. Keep my videos put on the YouTube algorithm. If you have anything to say, just comment it down below. You know, I read all my comments, all of it. If you have any suggestions, read it. I know I have to react to the early Muslim expansion. That one was a very interesting one to me. I know some people have been asking me for that. But before I react to that, I have to get started on my other suggested reactions. Yeah, man, you know, another you know, Ottoman steamrolling everyone episode, unsurprisingly. Anyways, man, thank you for watching and stay tuned.